Hi, my name is Taylor Morris, and I am a freshman at Clemson University. I'm doing a video dialogue for Library 100, and my video dialogue was on Clemson, the happiest campus, and it was about the mental health of college students these days. And when I signed up for this video dialogue, I thought it was gonna be about the happiness of Clemson's campus, but it kind of ended up being the opposite. It was kind of like the stigma that all college students are happy, but really they have to deal with a lot of different mental health problems that like people go through, like anorexia or bulimia or bipolar or ADHD or any of those different types of problems, even like alcoholism. And I learned that not only like those disorders affecting them, but also their family. Like if someone in your family has that problem, then that can heavily impact you, your life, your decisions, and what you can do. And so I thought that it was very interesting to like hear everyone's stories and what they had to say and what kind of experiences they had, because I have never really had any of those like major experiences in my life. And so the most active voices were people that had those experiences, and I felt that our proctors had a lot to say about that, because one of our proctors had gone through a lot of that, and it was very interesting to him to like hear him talk about it, and also hear him talk about his freshman year. Like I enjoy listening to people's stories about their freshman year, and in turn that like helps me through my freshman year, and know that like people are going through the same experiences and like what they did and stuff like that. And I kind of thought it was a little intimidating to talk in front of 20 people in those experience, like, and talk so like personally in front of that many people you just don't know, because I went in there not knowing anyone, kind of randomly signing up for it, but and not having gone through many of those experiences, it was a little intimidating. But I thought that like the smaller groups were less intimidating. Like I like when we broke up into groups into the little circle, because it helps like relate everyone and put everyone on the same level, sort of. And also when we broke up and talked about the different disorders, I thought that was also very interesting and helpful. Mine was ADD, and we talked about that, and that's a very common disease, I feel like, these days. Like people are faced with that a lot, and so, and I feel like that's very relatable because everyone knows someone with that. And so I thought that was very interesting, and also to like hear like other people had bipolar and alcoholism and things like that they had to like talk about on the board. And I thought that was very interesting because a lot of people had those like experiences like within their families, and that was very interesting to see that like how it shaped who they were as a person, because I feel like those types of experiences shape who you are. And it's interesting that like I think it was getting to where everyone might seem so happy on Clemson because like we are one of the happiest campuses, but like underneath it, like we are like we're like battling our own battles, and everyone's like dealing with their own problems all the time, and you have to be aware of that. You have to like function well in society, you have to be aware that everyone's facing their own problems, and that you have to respect them for that, or else it'll just cause unnecessary conflict in the end. And one of the other important things that we did during this was the circle. We were handed a sheet of paper where we had to write down, like, there was your sexual orientation, your age, your national origin, your religion, other things like that, and you had to like write down your what you were in that category, and then you broke up into groups and had to share like what you picked. And it was really interesting because like what I put as my number one choice, like two people in my other group put it as their number 10. And so it shows that everyone's different, and you have to respect them for that too. And I thought that was very interesting because like I like meeting people that aren't the same as me and talk about like why we aren't the same, but accept that we aren't the same and enjoy that. But at the same time, the things that we had to rate through 1 through 10 were very like stereotypical things we had to do. And I feel like sometimes those things like put up a wall between people when it's not necessary. Like, we don't need to, like, put up a wall because we're not the same race or we're not the same age or we're not from the same socioeconomic status. And I feel like that exercise was interesting because you got to see that, but at the same time, it was probably unnecessary because it was just, it doesn't like solve any problems. But overall, I thought this was a very interesting dialogue to go to because I had never had any of these like major experiences, and it was interesting seeing people with those experiences. And though I didn't like contribute majorly to the dialogue, I felt like I got a lot out of it because I got to see people that were different from me in a good way.